Hi everyone, welcome back. Happy Easter. It's Easter weekend and we're really excited, aren't we? We love Easter weekend. It's a great weekend when we remember Jesus. We're going to tell you the story of Easter weekend, but Edgar's really excited today because he's been working hard all week and remember last week we were doing things about him, things that are impossible. He's got the best thing that you can ever see. He's done something that's impossible, haven't you? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to see that first. Okay, he's been working hard at this, so here we go. What we have to do first of all is I have to cover him over. Well, you see this, so we're going to cover him over, and that's him ready to go. So yeah, okay, so after 3, 1, 2, 3, ta-da, he's gone. He's gone. Isn't that incredible? He's been working on that all week, practicing so hard, and look what he's able to do. He's just disappeared. We've lost him. Wow. But you can't do anything impossible like that. Isn't that amazing? Okay, this gives me a chance. We'll get him back later. You see what happens later on. But before we get to that, let me tell you the story that we're focusing on this week. This is Easter weekend, and the story that we're focusing on is the story of Jesus dying on the cross and being raised from the grave. And we've just lost Edgar, so let me tell you a wee bit about what it was like the day they lost Jesus. Okay, remember you probably know the story of Jesus on the cross, but can you imagine what that was like? Here he was taken away and he was nailed to this cross, and his mum and some of his disciples were standing watching him at a distance, and they were incredibly sad. Can you imagine watching someone you love dying on a cross? It was terrible. And then in the middle of the day, Jesus cried out, "It is finished." And the sky went dark and he died. He was gone. He was taken away from his family, from his followers, from this world. He had gone. Death is a terrible thing. It is one of those things that make us incredibly sad when we lose people that we love because they've been taken away from us. And his family, his mum and some of his disciples took Jesus' body. And he was no longer there, he was gone, but his body was there. They took his body, they wrapped it up, they carried it away, and they placed it in a tomb. Now, I don't know if you know what a tomb is. A tomb is like a cave, and that was where they buried bodies back in Jesus' day, not in a graveyard the way we do. And they took him and they put his body in this tomb, and there was a big stone at the gate, and they rolled that stone over the tomb door, and his body was there, and he was gone. That was on a Friday, and his mum and his disciples were incredibly sad for the rest of that day. And they woke up on Saturday morning and they were still incredibly sad because Jesus was gone. He'd been taken away from them. The person they'd loved, the person they'd hoped was going to change the world was gone. This is a really sad story so far, isn't it? Okay, one more bad bit before we get to the really good ending. Because on the Sunday morning they woke up. They woke up when it was really early. It was still sort of dark, and some woman decided they wanted to go to the tomb because they wanted to bury the body, look after it properly. And they went to the tomb hoping they'd be able to do some final things with the body. And they got there and they knew Jesus was gone, but they were just looking for his body. When they got there, another big surprise. Because what had happened? Well, the body was gone. The big stone, you remember when the door of the cave, it was rolled away, and they looked inside and there was no body. Jesus was gone, and now his body had been taken. And that's what they thought. Somebody's taken him away. Somebody's taken his body away. And again, they started to get really upset. They started to get really annoyed. But that wasn't the end of the story. Okay, right, what you see now, we lost Edgar early, but what we're going to do now is we're going to see if he can manage to come back. So you ready for this? Let me get up his barrier first of all, and we'll get it in place and wait till we see what happens. You ready? Okay, so he's covered over again, and right, ready to go. Wait, we see this. Down we go. He's back! Wow, how brilliant was that? Take a bow, Edgar. Not just amazing. Look how happy he is at this incredible thing that he's managed to do. He's back. And this is what happened as well in the Easter story. The Easter morning, they went, remember, and they had lost the body, but then they turned around, and who did they see? They saw Jesus himself back from the grave, back from the dead. He was alive again. That's even more amazing than what Edgar just done, isn't it? Just absolutely incredible. They thought they'd lost Jesus forever, but he was back. He was alive. He was raised from the dead. And that's the incredible thing that we have been celebrating and thinking about this Easter weekend. Jesus, who died on a cross for our sins, he then was buried, but he rose again. And he's alive forevermore. He's back. Never to die again, never to be taken away from us again. Jesus is always with us. And that's so absolutely amazing. And I hope that makes you really happy this weekend when you think about this incredible story. So what have we got you to do this weekend? Well, one of the things we thought about was maybe it was a good weekend to play hide and seek. So get your mum or your dad, your brothers, sisters, your family, and just have a game of hide and seek. And remember and talk about the Easter story when you're doing that, how Jesus was taken away and hidden in a tomb. And then when they went to find him, he was gone. He was raised. So you could do that. You also have the worksheets that we have on the website, and there's puzzle this week and a jigsaw maybe that you can make. So some things to do this week. Okay, so that's for you to do on the website. And I think before we go, we're going to maybe do one more thing that Edgar's going to do. So we'll let him get ready, and we'll do that just in a second. So let me just cover him up for one more second. Okay, so we're ready for the last thing he's going to do today. He was so happy this weekend, he's decided he's going to sing for you and perform for you, isn't that right? Yep, look, he's so keen, he's popping out, he's ready to go, he's ready to sing. So let's hear it for Edgar, and happy day. Message, yep. You enjoyed that, didn't you? Hope you enjoyed that at home. Hope you have a happy Easter weekend and celebrate. Jesus is alive.